Hey guys, LV here. As you can see from the title, today we're going to review a different item today. Today we are going to review Namie Amuro's new best album, Ballada. This was a different album to pick up because, as I told you guys before, I still can't really use the excuse now, but like I told you guys before in my previous videos of Amuro Namie, I told you guys that I'm still kind of new to Namie's music. Although I'm getting much more familiar with her discography now, I will say I'm still somewhat limited by her discography because I still don't really know much of her previous songs from her old albums. So I thought picking this album up was a good experience for that because I'm getting more familiar with her music and I'm getting to see the more vulnerable side of Namie because with the previous albums I reviewed, they're mostly Namie in her dance form. I rarely get to see Namie's tender side because I'm so used to seeing her like heavy dance pop that I don't really get to see like the tender and more fragile side to her with her ballads. As always in my videos, this review was requested. It was requested by the YouTube users Takahashi Misaki, Sebastian Schneider, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, and XXAngel42. So thank you guys very much for requesting this album, and I do hope, based off the opinions I'm about to give off this album, I do hope you guys can enjoy the interpretations I have of it. The first track is the new recording of Sweet 19 Blues. I like the fact that Namie chose this song to start off the album because the song itself has a very personal feel to it, and I can see why she chose this because it definitely suits her quite well. Although I haven't had the chance to review her debut album yet, I will say based off of this new recording, I will say her vocals have shown tremendous growth. And believe me, when I see the original recording of this, while it is a classic, I will say her vocals aren't so great, but I won't get into that right now. We're going to get into the new recording of the song. However, just like the original version, I like the fact that she sings this song in a much lower pitch because it definitely suits the vibe of it quite well. The arrangement itself is very smooth and bouncy, and that's what definitely gives the song a sense of nausea that I can't help but really grasp to. I can see why this song is so loved by the Namie fan base. Sweet, sweet 19 blues. It's very powerful. Even though it's quite simple, I will say it's very powerful, and I can see why this song itself, why it shines within her career, because it's definitely a beautiful song. The next track is the new recording of Can You Celebrate, which features the violinist葉加瀬太郎. I love how beautifully this song opens right here. That was quite a lovely surprise. Just as I think this song's going to head into a more quieter feel, Namie comes surging in right with these gorgeous vocals that makes me completely smitten. I like the fact that this song continues to prolong this really angelic feel before the choir suddenly decides to aid her, just like the original. Within this track, I thoroughly enjoyed the fact how she used this natural instrumentation that expands to the original track in the best light, because that is what definitely gives this song a feeling of a beautiful wedding. This is really beautiful. This song is quite beautiful to me, and although I do feel that way about this song, I will say that based off some forums I visited, it seems this song caused quite a bit of negativity within some of the Namie fan base. And although that is kind of saddening to me, I guess I can't understand that reasoning because there's always going to be people out there who will not like this song because they'll always love the original. And I guess I can understand that because nothing ever beats the original. Regardless of those opinions, I have to be honest for myself and all of you guys. And based off that opinion, I will say that the newer arrangement here, it gives the song a more grandeur feel, and that there is what definitely made this song the most memorable song on this album. The next track is Dreaming I Was Dreaming. We're finally moving back to Namie's older style with this tune. One thing I can say about this track is I really like the rather haunting way this song was conjured. It draws me in with this smooth arrangement that seems almost appropriate because it really feels like a song within a dream. The traces of these drums alongside this lingering piano really makes this sound a bit more mysterious and maybe a tiny bit more serious when comparing it to the previous track. Yet I don't mind that because I found this to be a rather good approach. I like the way her vocals sound within this piece because it sounds as though she's almost whispering throughout this entire song. Like I said before, I rather like that because it seems like she's never getting her point across because her whispering it, it merely like, not dulls the song, but it dulls the message to a certain extent. Just listen to it. Dreaming, I was dreaming. Dreaming, I was dreaming. I really like that. Like I said before, the whispering itself, it merely amplifies the song, and I can't help but want to investigate that feel to it. Overall, this was a really nice song because it blends rather well alongside this percussion and overall atmosphere. So this was a nice touch within Namie's past. The next track is Never End. I'm baffled by how moving this song truly is. I love how it represents its own culture while still maintaining its primary beat on classical J-pop. Synthetic elements and the piano were used throughout this entire melody, and that's what makes the arrangement to this very sweeping and beautiful. However, one thing that slightly ruins the atmosphere of this song is the vocals that Namie uses throughout it. Don't get me wrong, she sounds wonderful throughout the verses here, yet as she reaches this chorus, I will admit her vocals sound a bit strained here, and I will say that's what somewhat dents the structure of this song to a certain extent. Despite that, this was a gorgeous tune that perfectly executed its peaceful theme. I love the feeling it resonates within me. Each time I listen to this, it gives me the feeling of fulfillment every time, and I really like that. So this is a wonderful song that I can't help but listen to over and over again. The next track is HimAWArI, which translates into Sunflower. The song is very simple in beauty. I like the way it opens up with this piano and still continues to use this piano structure throughout the entire song. Although the approach is rather simple, I rather like the way she conceived it because it truly gives the song more depth and adds more volume to the song's overall presence. Her vocals within this mix take a slightly different turn because they're more gruffer than usual, yet I found myself liking that very much. And I really like the lyrics to this song. They resonate something deep within me that's rather hard to describe in actual words. And based off her discography, I'd say that this is probably one of her most underrated songs because it screams a certain quality to it that not every fan of her sees. But I like that approach because it definitely makes you appreciate the song, so this was definitely a wonderful song to listen to. The next song is Think of Me. I'll admit, when I first heard this song here, I felt extremely sad, and if I had to find the exact reason for that sadness, I guess I say I wasn't really expecting the song to go the way it did. Like the previous track, the arrangement itself is very simple, yet it still holds its own moments of sadness. I will say for this tune, Namie's vocals aren't really the greatest, because she goes slightly off key on some parts, yet I felt Namie executed that approach on purpose because the overall melody to it definitely touched my heart. And for this song, I definitely enjoyed how she sings those Think of Me parts. Think of me. I don't know why, but I found that there's something really heartbreaking the way she says those three words, and I can't help but want to hug her because it touches me. And alongside this mournful arrangement that aids her voice here, that itself is what makes this song a true tearjerker. I will say this isn't my favorite song off this album, yet it still possesses qualities to it that makes it a really worthy ballad to listen to. The next song is I Will. Based off a little research, this was a ballad that Namie had wrote herself in honoring of her mother. And based off the song's history, I can proudly say that this was one of the first Namie songs that truly touched my heart. I love how delicate and fragile her vocals sound within the chorus because it truly gives off the feeling that she really wants to cry. This song reeks in pain, and I can definitely relate to that very much, which is one of the reasons why I can fully relate myself to these lyrics. The arrangement itself is simply dazzling to me. I adore the feeling she designates here because it simply attributes these distinctive melodies that definitely come from the heart. And I love how passionate and intense her vocals get through every verse because it just builds and it builds and it heads heavenly into this beautiful chorus right here. And this chorus is full of pain, and I could definitely relate to that very much. Despite how heartbreaking these lyrics are, I do feel like I can truly relate to this song because I do understand the meaning of loss. I truly appreciate the message of this song because every time I listen to this song, I think of my grandmother, and with my grandmother was a very close person to me. She was like one of my best friends. And like the song states, I never really got the chance to tell her goodbye because she was taken away from me. And this song kind of aids that sadness that I can't help but want to cry in. Yet like I said before with these lyrics, even though they truly give off this painful feel, they give off a rather hopeful feel in the end. And although they can make me cry at times, I appreciate the pain that she placed here because I know, like Namie says in this song, I'll always be with her and we'll meet again. So that's one thing I can look forward to. I apologize, you guys, for being so weak-minded. It just seems like every time when I bring up the topic of my grandmother, I just start bursting in tears. But I'll take care of it right now, and then we'll get back to the review. The next song is Wishing on the Same Star. I love how within this song, it starts off with these gorgeous classic instruments, because those instruments there, they truly give this song an already promising start. And based off the conceivement of this ballad, I have to say that the distinctive melodies that she used within the song are a perfect example of what a Namie ballad should sound like. The vocals she implants within this mix really sweep me off my feet, and that there is what truly gives me this emotion that I love to hear within any ballad. The lyrics to this piece truly drive the song into a bit of the longing side, which I found extremely touching. The lyrics themselves speak of these two lovers. They talk about that even if the lovers are far away, they'll always be connected because they're wishing on the same star, looking on the same moon. Sorry, but I thought that was really corny. But I really enjoyed that message because it's really sweet, and I definitely enjoyed that. Overall, this was another delightful tune that definitely complemented the overall theme of this album quite nicely. The next song is Four Seasons. This was the second song I ever heard from Amuro Namie. Like a lot of Western fans, I was first introduced to Namie Amuro based off the anime InuyASha, which I have all the seasons of right here, and I have the movie set. Sorry guys, I'm a mega fan of InuyASha. I love InuyASha like so much. I remember when I first heard this song, my first thoughts with this song was I thought it was so pretty, like honestly, because when I first heard this song, I was really overwhelmed by how beautiful it was, and I first heard it from the movie fan base. The instrumentals here are very simple, yet they manage to stir my interest based off its distinctive melodies that are highly emphasized throughout this mix. Her vocals here are top-notch, and I definitely can't help but want to drown in their beauty. Oh my gosh, that sounded so corny. Despite the overwhelming corny things I say about this song, I mean every word of it. To me, this song will never truly lose its flair because she brings life into every word in this song, and that definitely there is what solidifies my love for it forever. The next song is All For You. As I said before when I first reviewed this sparkling ballad, this song is cheesy as hell. Yet like I said in my previous review, it's because of that cheesiness that makes this song into the sweeping, grandiose ballad that it is. Again, like with all the other ballads I've heard, this tune perfectly showcases the traits of a perfect Amuro Namie ballad. Distinctive vocal abilities, gorgeous arrangement, and that perfect glow that just stains the song into a sea of endless intoxication. And like I said before when I first reviewed this ballad, this isn't my most favorite ballad out there, but I find the aroma around this song extremely cute, and that's what definitely makes me always come back to it. The next song is White Lights. Out of all the ballads I've heard so far, I have to say that this is probably the most weakest one. I mean, don't get me wrong, the melody itself to this is very sweet and uplifting. I definitely appreciated that. Yet the instrumentals to this can get really overwhelming at times. It has all the requirements for a Christmas ballad, yet the whole flow of it just leaves me baffled and not in a good way. However, Namie is doing a good job vocally, and I have to give her credit for that. Despite what I'm saying about the song, I will say this song is pleasant. I can't deny that, it really is. It's a pleasant song. Yet I can't shake off the feeling that this song, it was only meant for the holiday season and nothing more really. Despite what I'm saying about this tune, I will say that it is a nice tune. Yet, I will admit that its spot on the album could have easily been taken up by a more worthy song. at least in my opinion. The next song is The Meaning of Us. I was really happy when I first heard this song was going to be included on this album because I consider this song to be amongst my favorite Namie ballads. Hearing this song is literally like a touch of heaven based off its ambient piano that definitely gives this song the feeling of a sweet lullaby. I love how delicate and gentle her vocals are here because you can literally hear that sweet emotion that's stirring within her voice. And the other highlight of the song is most definitely the chorus because the chorus definitely emphasizes that lingering beauty that I can't help but be dazzled by. This is definitely a beautiful song, and she definitely highlighted the other best within her vocal abilities. It just makes me sad that she doesn't sing the songs like this more often. She has the voice for them, and I'm always mad with Namie that she never does this approach because this route with her ballads is so beautiful and oh my goodness. Wakata, I know the meaning of us. This is, oh my gosh, this is one of my most favorite ballads from Namie. I can't deny that. It's a gorgeous song. The next song is Love Story. Although this is a simple ballad in nature, I can't help but always be entranced by this song's presence. I love how she encases this song's simpleness by emphasizing this lovely piano alongside this smooth finger snap beat. As I said before when I first reviewed this piece, this was definitely a beautiful ballad, and I can definitely relate to the lyrics to it a lot because, like I said, the lyrics to this song, they definitely give off a really emotional feel that you just can't help but dive yourself into sometimes. And despite the good traits that the song does carry, I have to say that the other highlight of this song has to be when she hits these high notes right here with such grace. I love how deep and passionate her vocals are displayed here because she definitely hits these notes with such strength. Again, it makes me sad that she doesn't use this vocal approach quite often, but I guess even though she doesn't do it quite often, I guess it makes me appreciate the times when she does do it. And I can definitely give high marks to that. Despite my sadness there, I will say that this was truly an amazing song. This was one of my favorite songs when I reviewed her Uncontrolled album, and I can still say that it's one of my favorites now because it's so simple, yet it's very powerful, and I definitely appreciate that. The next song is Let Me Let You Go. Okay, I know I said the song White Light was her most weakest ballad off this album, yet hearing this, I stand corrected. This has to be one of her most weakest songs off this album. I mean, I definitely appreciate how simple the arrangement is here with these simple piano structures here because it definitely aids the song some justice. Yet I can't fully appreciate the beauty that this song has because of the English within this song. And the English is really not that good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with Namie speaking in English. It's just she sounds really awkward within this song. When it comes to Namie and her ballads, I would prefer it if she sang in her native tongue because I found the English within this song rather distracting because I couldn't enjoy the full potential of her voice. And yes, Namie is giving off some beautiful vocals here, yet as I said before, I can't enjoy them and appreciate them because the English in this song is rather distracting. Even though I do consider this song to be one of my least favorite songs from Namie, I will say that Namie did give her all there, and I'll salute her for that. I do know that this was one of the newer songs that promoted this album, and I have to say, when I first heard this tune, I remember I fell in love with it instantly. The structure of this song itself is tinged with this magical feeling that really sounds amazing and fresh to my ears. The arrangement itself is quite peaceful in nature, and I definitely like how Namie is layering her vocals here because within the verses she uses this gentle approach with her vocals, yet as the chorus arrives, she uses a different approach because she's belting out within this chorus right here, and I definitely enjoyed that right there because it gives another layer within Namie's structure of her voice. She gives such emotion within this chorus that I can't help but be entranced by its beautifulness. She gives a lot of emotion in this song, and that's what definitely makes this ballad stand out and makes the chorus of it utterly memorable and distinctive. This was definitely a beautiful song, and I really appreciate that Namie put this on this album because It's definitely a song that'll be loved forever. I totally wasn't expecting this when I first heard this. Hearing this song as a ballad was quite a surprise to me. I never thought I would like this version of Contrail better than the original version. In the review I made of Feel, Contrail was one of my most favorite songs off this album because I definitely enjoyed its upbeatness, and I was really baffled when I first heard this as a ballad. Yet as I keep listening to this, I realized that it structures into a ballad quite well. I love how in this version you get to hear Namie's vocal more than anything else, because although I did love the original, I will say in the original I kind of focus on the instrumentals rather than Namie's vocals, and I like how within this version I get to focus on Namie's vocals because it shows how powerful and how memorable her vocals can be. And while I am paying attention to Namie's vocals more than anything else, I will say that the arrangement to this was still lovely. I like how the piano blends with Namie's voice here because that definitely is what gives this song a really surreal feeling that I definitely can't help but want to drown in because it's so beautiful. I really like how she chose this track here to be the ending track off this album because it truly does give the listener a really emotional feeling that's really wonderful to reflect. But this song, it definitely stirred my interest, and that's one salute I can give to Namie. I enjoyed listening to this album very much because I feel like I got to see a new side of Namie, and I definitely appreciated that factor very much. Because like I said within the beginning, usually with Namie's style, I'm usually used to her more dance, more edgier style, and I rarely get to see her more in her tender side. And I feel like this album here definitely reflected that tenderness that I was really eager to see. And now I'll show you the album art. So here's the album cover. I must say I definitely enjoyed that picture of Namie because it's very graceful. Even though it's quite a simple picture, it's very graceful and it's very beautiful. I definitely appreciated that. Here is the insides. Very lovely. Now I'll show you the album art. That was definitely a cute picture of Namie. I really enjoyed that picture. Love her heels. Love them as always. That definitely had to be my most favorite picture from this booklet because she looks so beautiful right there. That just drop dead gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And when I first got this album, I also got another bonus thing. I'm not sure what you call this, but it came with this here. It's like a hologram thing. It's not a sticker, but it's like a hologram thing. I'm not sure if you guys can see if it's doing it. It's probably not, but it's like a hologram thing, and I definitely enjoyed that. So this was another bonus thing that I really liked. And that's it for the album art. Like I said before, this was a very good album that represented the other best in Namie's vocal. Over and over again throughout these tracks, I got to see the more tender and more emotional side to Namie based off the beautiful emotion that she was inflicting throughout these tracks. And I definitely enjoyed that very much. Of course, not every ballad on this album is amongst my favorites, but the emotion and pure structure that she implied within these tracks gives this album such top quality, so I'll definitely salute her for that. So that was my review on Amuro Namie's Ballada. I hope everyone who is a fan of Namie enjoyed what I had to say on this album, because even though I'm still somewhat new to Namie, well, I can't say that, but even though I'm still somewhat new to her ballad style, I definitely say I definitely enjoyed this album because it gives me another side to Namie, and that's what definitely made it more beautiful to listen to. As always with my videos, I would like to give a giant thanks to all the YouTubers who requested this album. Takahashi Misaki, Sebastian Schneider, hopefully I said your name correctly, and XXAngel42. Thank you very much for requesting this album, and I do hope you guys enjoyed the opinions I have on this album, because like I said, this was definitely an album that represented the other best in Namie, and I can see why everyone's so crazy about this album, because it definitely does deserve that praise. As always with my videos, the next album I'm going to do is going to be a request, so if anyone has an artist out there who they would like me to check out, just leave it in the comments below or inbox me, doesn't really matter, and I'll be happy to do it for you guys. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I definitely appreciate it because it further encourages my continuation of these videos, and hopefully the next one should be coming up very soon. So until next time, bye!